When my brother Tom began telling people in Adenville, Utah, that he had a great brain, everybody laughed at him, including his own family. We all thought he was trying to play some kind of a kid's joke on us. But after he had used his great brain to swindle all the kids in town and make fools of a lot of grown-ups, nobody laughed at my brother anymore. I think that was why just about everybody in town, except his own family, was glad to see Tom leave Adenville on September 1st, 1897. And I couldn't help thinking that Papa must have felt kind of relieved too, although he didn't show it. Papa was editor and publisher of the Adenville Weekly Advocate and was considered one of the smartest men in town. But some of the shenanigans Tom had pulled with his great brain were enough to make Papa feel like a blooming idiot. Now he wouldn't have to worry about men dropping into his office to complain that Tom had swindled their sons. Mama cried a lot at the depot, but she also must have felt at least a little relief. She wouldn't have to worry for the next 9 months about mothers telephoning her to complain about Tom. The truth of the matter, though, was that although Tom had been a junior-grade confidence man since he was 8 years old, he had never really cheated anybody. With his great brain, he simply devised schemes that made people swindle themselves. Tom and my eldest brother Sven were bound for the Catholic Academy for Boys in Salt Lake City. We only had a one-room schoolhouse in Adenville, where Mr. Standish taught the 1st through the 6th grades. Any parents wanting their kids to get a higher education had to send them to Salt Lake City. Tom was only 11, going on 12, but so smart that Mr. Standish had let him skip the 5th grade. Sven was 2 years older and going back to the academy for his 2nd year. A stranger who saw us 3 brothers together would never have guessed we were related. Sven looked like our Danish-American mother, with blonde hair and a light complexion. I had dark, unruly hair and dark eyes, just like Papa. Tom didn't look like either Mama or Papa unless you sort of put them together, and he was the only one in the family who had freckles. Tom promised to write to me every week. The first letter I received told me how he had spotted a card shark on the train. I didn't find out all the details, though, until my brothers came home for Christmas vacation. Then I got Sven to tell me what had happened, and later Tom told me what had happened. But there was something wrong. Sven didn't mention several things Tom told me, and Tom didn't mention his invention for trains, which Sven told me all about. That is why I figure the only way to tell what really happened is to put their stories together and tell it in my own way. Tom admitted he felt down in the dumps as the train pulled out of Adenville. I couldn't blame him. It was the first time he had ever been away from home. I knew when I became old enough to go to the academy that I would probably bawl like a baby. "Go ahead and cry," Sven said as the train left the depot. "It is nothing to be ashamed about. I know I did last year, my first time away from home." Tom sure wanted to cry, but he wasn't going to give Sven the satisfaction of knowing it. "Maybe I don't feel like crying," he lied. "Pardon me," Sven said sarcastically. "I just thought being separated from Mom and Dad and our kid brother for the first time might make you feel sad." "Well, I know something that will make you cry. You won't be able to swindle the kids at the academy and get away with shenanigans like you pulled in Adenville. Those Jesuit priests are strict." Sven's superior big brother attitude was beginning to get on Tom's nerves. "You are just jealous of my great brain," he said. "It is warm in here. I'm going to open a window." "You do, and you'll get a cinder in your eye," Sven said. That was enough to make Tom open the window, even if he got 10 cinders in his eyes. He had never let Sven boss him around at home, and he wasn't about to start now. Sure enough, he got a cinder in his eye. He pulled his head inside quickly and shut the window.